What's up, Ella from ksound.com. In this video is a little bit different. So before you watch the whole video, just know that it's sort of like a rant or just my thoughts, just keeping it 100 from Ella to you guys. I've gotten several messages from you guys, so it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm uploading this video. No edits here, and we're just gonna roll, giving you guys my thoughts and about what I've received. So basically, it's I would say there's more like a frustration, a music production, being frustrated in like your workflow. You know what I mean? When you are a music producer or anything that you do for that matter, you need to have tools that are available to you that makes your job easier, it makes life easier. So the reason for this video is to kind of like, talk to you guys and kind of let you know where I am as a music producer, music composer, beat maker, whatever you want to call it, right? All the above. So you guys know that I am like, my main DAW is working from Studio One, right? That's been my main DAW. It's been holding me down for quite some time now, right? I used to use Logic at one point. Even before then, it was Pro Tools. But Studio One has held me down, and I love it. Studio One is by far one of the best DAWs that I could ever ask for in terms of what all it does. And, I'm cool with it, right? But as far as music production, that's a whole nother ball game, right? Like, I'm not gonna put down Studio One as, just put it down or whatever, but Studio One will remain my platform for mixing, mastering, some sound design, and even music production, you know what I mean? But you guys know my frustration. I had uploaded a video a couple of times as to some feature requests and some things I wanted to see, because there's a lot of us, a handful of us, a great handful of us that love using Native Instruments products. And I feel like Native Instruments is like, I don't want to be bold and say industry standard, but they kind of is, because if you notice, there's a lot of big names, big producers that uses Native Instruments products in their workflow. And so that's kind of the reason why I will go to say that, Native Instruments, they pretty much got it on lock or whatever. It's not to say anything against the Push or the Akai line or Mackie or whatever that's out there that you guys may be using, but Native Instruments, they are pretty solid in this market as far as production and just everything that you can get, to help you produce some of the latest sounds, TV, film type stuff. So for me, it's always been Native Instruments. Native Instruments has been a part of my workflow. I can't even tell you guys, like, it's been a long time, very long time. Even when I was working in Logic, it's just been a part of my workflow. And when Native Instruments gave us the ability to link the device with DAWs, when they came out with the Complete Control Mark II, now that we have the ability to utilize what's called DAW control, you controlling your DAW. And we have countless products that's able to do that, like the Atom Pad. The Atom was released by Personas. This was their solution to that issue. As a music producer, it's all about workflow. And if you have things, like I said before in this video, if you have things that help you speed your workflow, it's more so the thing that I will lean more towards, right? So with that being said, I kind of dabbled in some other software and started playing around and seeing, what the workflow is like. I've been thinking about Ableton Live for a very long time. I've thought about Reason at a certain point, but then I discovered Bitwig. Bitwig is the DAW that I'm sort of just playing around with. You guys seen me post a couple of videos so far, just kind of, inching out there a little bit. Now, that is not to say that that's where I switched to, because like I said before, right? Studio One, hands down, is great. I don't want to badmouth any company, any product, or anything like that, because that's not what I'm doing. But I see a whole lot more mixers being released every year from Personas, and a slew of speakers and things of that nature. Personas is a hardware company. Big ups. But us Studio One guys, it's like, and that's, again, it's not to take away from what they've done so far. I feel like they've done a fantastic job in what they've been releasing, but there's some things that, as a music producer, I kind of want to see. So with that being said, it kind of left me like, as far as like gaining inspiration. I had a conversation with a couple of you guys like not too long ago. Inspiration, creativity, like, I don't know, Studio One is there. It's a certain workflow, but when it comes to being creative, like really being creative, having tools available to you that allows you to do that, I'm kind of finding that elsewhere, in like Bitwig or something like that. Like, first and foremost, I will upload more videos working in Bitwig, and I will not stop uploading videos in Studio One. So you guys kind of get like the best of both worlds, I guess. But like Bitwig, it's almost like Ableton Live, if you will. The workflow is very similar, and the devices talk to Bitwig. Bitwig talks to the device. I can power this thing up, my controller here in front of me, my complete control, and I have the machine jam behind me, and it controls Bitwig. Something simple as that is what makes a big deal for me in production, because when I'm in front of it, and I could definitely put my piano in front of my screen or whatever, but for some of you guys that don't want to do that, and I don't know, it just makes better sense to me if you're working from a controller standpoint. Your controller being able to control the DAW, hit and play, record, simple things like that, like nudging back and forth, toggling between the metronome, the loop, undo, you know what I'm saying? And like, I never really cared that much about mixing a track from a controller or whatever. Like, I feel like the fader is great for that. So if I'm in mixing mode, of course, the fader, hands down, is probably the best tool to have for that purpose. But in music production, I am mixing on the fly. That is definitely something that I do, but I don't know if I care that much to have that function available on my keyboard or pads or whatever. So that really I don't really get involved in that. It's, however, great that I'm able to control parameters using buttons, or like, my macros or whatever, using buttons, knobs to control the animation going on or whatever. And that's pretty dope. Like, I do like that. But as far as mixing, but you can mix from the controller here, the complete controller, that is. I can see the channels as it pops up on my controller through Bitwig, no problem. I don't know, things like that just kind of does it for me specifically as a music composer. Like having control from your controller. In Studio One is a little bit, I have to do extra things, and those extra things do not lead to a satisfying experience. You know, I can do what I do, lay down chords, whatnot, fine, but I can't control the play, the stop, the record. And me specifically, not being a keyboard player, and I may be talking to some of you guys, I'm not a keyboard player, so a lot of times I will rest my fingers on a chord, and before I forget it, and I think it's just based on how I'm set up, I'll have my hand right there on the chord, and I like to be able to hit record, boom, and lay it down when that pass comes around, and then jump right, toggle right back out of record mode, boom. But it's a little bit difficult doing that if my control, it's over here, you know what I mean, on the actual computer keyboard. And even if I had, like I say, even if I have some videos you guys seen that I had a MIDI keyboard right on my desk, which I actually prefer that anyway, just having a keyboard in front and my screen right here. I may change that up pretty soon or whatever, but still, I mean, and then I have to put this keyboard on top of the keyboard just so I can control play, stop, rewind, or whatever. But I know a ton of you guys that are not set up like that. The keyboard is not in front because and the reason why mine is not set up like that now is because, well, my desk is kind of small, so I probably need to update, go back to my other desk that I had. This area is small, so that's the reason why my desk is small. So we probably talking about bedroom producers, right? So if you got a small setup, and which is, by the way, where a lot of music is being created nowadays, if you got a small setup, I just think that if the controls are on the controller, it just makes things a whole lot better. So I'm not going to keep going. I'm saying the same thing over and over, but that's just me. That's my rant, and I'm kind of answering to a lot of questions and concerns that a lot of you guys have. So immediately when I start uploading a picture or a song or whatever to Instagram, by the way, follow me on Instagram, KEVNELIB, Kevin Ellip on Instagram. Oh, and these shirts, yeah, you guys need one of these, and you're gonna need that too. Yeah, that link will be in the description of the video, right? But anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but big ups to personas. How about that? Big ups to personas. I do lose the train, my thought process a lot, but this is what I was saying. Immediately, I told y'all no edits. Immediately when I uploaded a video, a picture, or whatever to any social platforms, right? I have people asking me, does the controller works with Bitwig? That's the first question. Like, I haven't got the question, hey man, I see you working in, is that what you working in now? Like, did you switch? Ain't nobody asked me that. Like, I am known for uploading videos using Personas Studio One. It just seems like nobody care if I switch or not. They just care about if the controller, the complete controller, works with that DAW that I post. I just thought that was amazing. I mean, not amazing in a good way, but it was like, wow, you know, really? um, that was, I don't know. There's a lot of us, and I don't know who I'm talking to. There's a lot of us in this music, you know, maybe perhaps it's just me, beginners, you know, that want that. Like if you are who you are, no matter what you're doing, what you've done, it's not the DAW that makes the music. It's not the DAW that makes dope music. It's not the DAW that's doing anything. The DAW is just a platform. It's there. It's for the individual in their thought process to go in and make dope music. But it's also the tools that's available to you and the way that the platform is set up as far as like how easy it is to use. So I don't know, Bitwig right now for me is just kind of like, you know, I was contemplating on uploading this video because I didn't want to like stir up anything, but it's too many of you guys already been asking me questions, and just throughout time, a lot of you guys are upset that Personas did not give us that capability of using our controller, you know, Native Instruments controller with Studio One. We still have to go through MIDI, Mackie, something like that, to just sync them up so that Studio One can read the notes, the MIDI notes or whatnot. But we still don't have control over anything. They've already done it with Logic Pro. You could do it in Ableton Live with no problem. Now with Bitwig, I had to upload a script, right? In order to get that to work properly, where I can see the channels and get everything working like I need to. But other than that, after uploading the script, the script was just available online, and I just uploaded to, it was just like a file uploaded to the correct area in the Bitwig folder on your computer, and it worked with no problem. And it works every time. Every time I load up, launch Bitwig, it's just, I don't have to go in and readjust anything, and then I can toggle back and forth between MIDI mode and complete if I'm using machine, which I am all the time. It's like, it's just, it works. And it makes sense. So that's where it is for me. Hey, I apologize for rambling on for about 18 minutes I'm looking at, but it's probably 20 minutes by the time I upload this video. But you guys let me know if you guys feel the same way. I know that there's a lot of people who probably feel the same way and have not told me yet. You haven't said nothing, but you know, I'm just kind of like, I guess, ranting, this music production frustration, you know, talking to you guys, my people, you know. By the way, I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. Like I really appreciate that. I will be uploading more videos, but that's just kind of my frustration that I've been having, you know. Just didn't know like what direction to take. I will be taking on a project that I have to mix, so I will be in Studio One. So I probably will upload some stuff based on like what I'm working on, what I discovered, blah blah blah. But I'm also working on another project, music production, and Bitwig is, I don't know, man. So who knows? You know, this channel is music production. Everything music production. So you get what you get, you know. I may be talking about machine, I may be talking about Studio One, I may mention Bitwig, I may even mention something about I thought I lost something for a second. I may mention Ableton Live, I don't know. Like, I think the Ableton Live is pretty dope. I really do. I was thinking about it, but Bitwig is so much like Ableton Live. So, like, Bitwig, in my opinion, does a little bit more, but I'm not the one who should be on here telling you guys that, because I don't know either platform that well to be able to break it down like that in that sense. Because if you guys start asking me questions, I ain't gonna be able to tell you. But from what I've seen, videos I've seen other people working in Bitwig, and when I started working in Ableton Live, it was some certain things I've been trying to achieve. And then I did research on it and found that some other guys having the same problem, but then Bitwig solved the problem. It's easier to do it, achieve that same goal inside of Bitwig. I can't tell you what that is, but it was just one of those things where like, man, why can't I do this? And then Bitwig was able to do it. It was just one of those situations. But anyway, my name is Ella from KSound.com. I'm going to work on a project, and more than likely it's going to be in Bitwig. I'm just saying. So, sorry to crash on anybody at the parade, I don't know. And before I end this video, you guys already know, one of my biggest frustrations, and I'll post this like several times, one of my biggest frustrations with Studio One is the MIDI. I think that was my last time trying to produce something. I was doing something for like a YouTube intro, and I laid one chord. No, actually it was like a bar or two worth, just inserting things. Studio One could not handle it. Please do not tell me it's my block size, because it ain't. Because anytime that I can pull up Logic Pro or Machine, those are the two DAWs that I have, like programs. If I can upload that on the same system with the same Windows or whatever I got going on, processor speed, the whatever, hard drive space, if I can do those things in Logic and Machine with no problem, and then pull up Studio One, and Studio One wants to capture my chord like a second late or a second earlier, don't tell me nothing about block size, because that doesn't work. Now, I can decrease my block size, which I've done, to like 128 or something like that, and everything is spot on. But see, the problem is when you start producing music and getting it up in numbers as far as your track count, that plays a big role on the instruments that needs that CPU space, that needs that processing, that block size. It needs that block size in order to do what it does. And I can have like 1024, maybe 1200, something like that, or even 512, like typical numbers as far as like your buffer size or your block size inside of Bitwig, Logic, even Ableton. When I lay down a chord, the chord is laid down the way that I want it. And I'm talking even if it's quantized, even if my quantize is on, everything locks in place. Whether my quantize is on or not, everything locks in place. When your quantize is on in Studio One, it's not gonna lock in place. If I turn off the quantize, it will give me what I want, but a lot of times I needed to quantize or come close to, like even if I do 50% quantize, but I don't know, that's the part that's kind of frustrating. And I thought that once they released the Atom Pad that it would be a little bit different, but seeing that the Atom Pad is MIDI based, I figured that they was going to fix that problem, but it's still there. I uploaded the video, thought that okay, maybe I was just having a great day. Like, man, the blood flowing through my fingers. I was laying down chords. I was like, man, that day was good. Like everything was perfect. But after working Okay, I'm at 25 minutes. All right, again, Elip from ksound.com. Signing out. This time for real. I'm out of here. Remember, music is art. You're the artist. Paint your picture. I guess when I say that, that means I'm done. All right.